All right, welcome to the Modern Nurse Podcast. My name is Emily Knife. I am your host today, and today we have somebody very special in the nursing entrepreneurship community, Teresa Sanderson. She is of Nurses Feed Their Young. She has created this wonderful movement, and we're going to talk more about that. She is also a serial nurse entrepreneur. She is a CE consultant and also a business mentor. So, welcome, Teresa. Thank you for coming on today with me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. It's always just a joy to be in your space, and there's so much positive work going on. So happy to be here.
Yay, thank you. Thanks, Teresa. So, today we're going to talk about what's really going on in the nursing entrepreneurship space for both of us here, of what you could possibly get into for courses or even the Modern Nurse Fest, which we'll be talking about soon. So, I'm going to have Teresa start us off here with just talking about Nurses Feed Their Young because that is so important in today's environment of nursing, and we really need to start feeding our young instead of eating our young. So go ahead and take it away, Teresa, and tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, I so appreciate the opportunity to share, because every nurse knows the saying nurses eat their young. And it's really unfortunate that every nurse knows that, right? I think it's really, really unfortunate. And in all of my 30 plus years of nursing and all of the nurses I've interviewed in the last few years about nursing culture and how that affects our staffing stability and all of those things, I can count on, I can't say one hand, but I can count on two hands the number of nurses who've told me they've never experienced that in their nursing careers. And I think that's really a shame, but don't get me wrong, I'm very excited for those who have that story of saying, man, I've just had great mentors everywhere I've gone. And I think that's what every nurse needs to be able to say. Every nurse needs to be able to say that. And so I get it, right? We're in the middle of a nurse staffing crisis. Truth be told, though, Emily, I've been a nurse. I'm old. I've been a nurse for 30 plus years. And we were talking nursing shortage when I graduated back in the day. We were already getting paid double time to work extra shifts. All of these things were already happening. So this isn't anything new. But what happened was with the pandemic in 2020, it came to the surface how short we are on nurses, and nurses started really verbalizing what it's like to work in nursing. And so now the general community knows about it. Whereas I think, for a long, long time, nobody saw this ugly underbelly of the fish. And but now everybody knows about it. But then the idea that everybody knows about it doesn't mean that any change has happened.
Right,
So we
right.
so we have that. And so Nurses Feed Their Young, this has been my dream child for a while, but this is a nurse-led movement. And so it's created by nurses, led by nurses, for nurses. And the idea is that every nurse, we all have the leader within. And so this is a call to individual nurses to call on the leader within you, because no matter where you are in nursing, you're leading your patients, you're leading your aides, you are leading physicians many times with recommendations for what's next for the patient. We are all leaders. And so we need to embrace that, and we need to step up and embrace our leadership so we can elevate as a profession. So this is what Nurses Feed Their Young is all about. It is about transforming once and for all the Nurses Eat Their Young culture to a culture where nurses recognize we need our young, and finally to where we feed our young. So we have three strategies that we're looking for to do that. We believe in cultivating nursing leaders. We believe in innovating nursing continuing education because it's been so poorly utilized for decades. And we also believe in developing nurse entrepreneurs. So those are three pillars, the three things that we value. And yeah, so super excited that the movement has launched, and
Yes.
yeah,
Yay. All the tingles, all the spidey senses. I'm feeling it. So, yeah,
yes,
that's amazing. Yeah. And I think it's so important. And like you just said, I wanted to kind of touch on just saying, even right out of nursing school, you're a nursing leader. You are a
yes,
leader. As soon as you step on
yes.
that floor, like you might be 20, 21 years old, but you are directing physicians at that point on the care of individual people. So it's so profound to think that, like, a
Mhm.
21-year-old could have so much responsibility, right? And that's not to be
Mhm.
taken lightly. So I
Yeah.
think that's where your program comes in to play, is by helping and mentoring, especially new nurses and even seasoned nurses if they're changing careers or learning another career field within nursing. It's so important to get that mentorship and to get that support, because a lot of times we don't really find that within the hospital setting or even the corporate setting. Sometimes we have to go beyond the box, as I like to call it, to really
Right.
find support within our profession. So thank you so much for creating this movement and for providing a safe space and a supported space for new nurses and seasoned nurses. So thank you so much for creating this. So cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
it's truly my pleasure, Emily. And it's also, it's what I say to people a lot, I am nobody special. I am just somebody who sees a need. It's been a long-standing need. And so I just believe it's time that somebody sets the standard for putting action behind appreciation of nurses. Nurses are tired of empty words, of hearing how much we're appreciated and then nothing changes. So that's one of my big goals with Nurses Feed Their Young, is that I want to be the one to up the ante for healthcare organizations who are not putting any action behind it. Don't just tell your nurses they're appreciated. We've got to show them
yeah,
that they're valued, right? So yeah, I'm nobody
absolutely.
special, just somebody who's kind of I'm worried about the future. I could say that. I'm worried about the future because I'm 50 something, and 20 years from now, I will probably need some help, some nursing care and some help. And who will be around? For the first time in my life, I can envision a hospital where there's not a nurse available.
Wow.
What will that be like?
Oh,
Right? We have to work on this. We have to work on this
absolutely.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I just got a flash when you said that. I was like, oh my gosh, what does that look like? A hospital without nurses. And, from in the age of AI and robots, who knows? Somebody might be not passing your pills anymore. It might be like a little robot that we see at these sushi restaurants coming in and
Yep.
bringing some water and your little packet of pills,
Yep.
with a nurse that's maybe on the other side of the world,
Oh my
making
gosh.
that robot move,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy to think that. And so it's really cool to be expanding upon this in the Modern Nurse Fest, which you're going to be a speaker at. So,
Yes.
and that whole festival is about retaining nurses and showing nurses what is available beyond the box, and even within the box, because there are some speakers that are coming and presenting that have their own nursing business, but they also still work bedside and they love it,
Absolutely.
right? So
Mhm.
there is a way to have it all. And you're coming at 4:30 or 6:30 on Friday the 18th. You'll be speaking. So Friday 18th at 6:30, you'll be at Modern Nurse Fest. It is online. All nurses can attend, even student nurses and CNNAs. We are so excited to have so many nurses join us. So you can find the deets at the bottom in the caption below, and you can sign up for Modern Nurse Fest to see Teresa and myself and many more speakers. But let's get back to Nurses Feed Their Young and all the other wonderful things we have going on. So that being said, so Modern Nurse Fest we have going on, but something really awesome and special that Teresa and I are co-leading on, and the School of Modern Nursing currently doesn't have a membership platform. So we
Mhm.
are hopping on to Teresa's train of her
I love
membership.
it.
I'm so excited for this collaboration. So,
Yes.
we are bringing in the Nurses Feed Your Young membership into the School of Modern Nursing. So, anybody that is with the School of Modern Nursing, or even if you're not with the School of Modern Nursing, you can join the membership and get all of the awesome details. So, highlight just a few of the awesome things that are within this membership, because it's such a good price as well for like
Right.
all the things that nurses are getting. So tell us just a little bit of a teaser,
Sure.
so nurses can pop on in and check it out for themselves.
Oh, I just love that. I love talking about all things Nurses Feed Their Young, of course, but thank you. Well, the wonderful thing about the Nifty community, because Nurses Feed Their Young, our acronym is Nifty. We're just blessed with that, right? It's so fun. But what's available in there, what makes us different is that we are a member community that embraces the entire continuum of nursing, from CNAs and home health aides to nursing students to all levels of nursing, from LPN to nurse practitioner, DNP, wherever you are, and also nurse entrepreneurs. So nursing leaders are here, nurse entrepreneurs are here, and this is a place where it's safe for us to chat and learn about things, but it's also a space where you're going to find access to experts, all right? Clinical experts, entrepreneur experts, people who are nurses who have dedicated businesses related to serving nursing students so they can get through the process of just finishing their education. A lot of people have so many challenges just doing that. And also we want to be a place that can inspire CNAs and home health aides by including them in everything that we're doing, because many of them aspire to elevate in nursing and they need a place where they feel safe to talk about it and can get advice and guidance on how would I go about doing that? What would that look like? And all of those things. So that's the biggest thing that I believe is different about us. But also, I want to share that we value nursing continuing education. We want to innovate with that. So every month, at least one contact hour of continuing education is going to be available to members at no additional cost. You're going to hear from an expert speaker, and you're going to learn some wonderful things. Now, I say at least one because right now we have at least a dozen experts on the nifty expert team who's going to be presenting and providing these courses. So each one of them is willing to create and develop, present one contact hour 4 times a year. So this is going to be massive. It's going to meet all of your needs for
Yeah.
nursing CE. And they're going to be different. Some of the things we've heard from people who've taken our nursing CE courses is that I wish all courses were like this. These are so valuable. This is great content. I've never had a course like this. And that's because the courses are presented by people who are experts in their field and who are passionate about the subject matter. That just makes everything so different. So those are just a couple things. But also we have clinical rooms for chat. We have entrepreneurial rooms, self-care rooms. We've got people who are yoga therapists and people like Emily who just, work so hard and diligently in that self-care space. So it's going to be a place where you can come and unwind and have fun. You can learn a lot, but network, network, network. We're stronger together. So lots of fun. And $27 a month. Yeah, super
So
cheap.
good. Yeah. So cheap. It's like 2 Starbucks at this point. Yeah.
Exactly. Isn't that crazy? I know.
The cost of the Starbucks rising. Pay for a membership instead, and make your tea or coffee at home and come and join us at the Nifty
Absolutely.
membership. Because it's so important, and like you said, just having that safe space, having that supported space, and with all these little group kind of chat rooms that people can get involved in is super
Yeah.
cool. And focusing on that self-care, it's not just like the manicures and the pedicures, it's really like coming in with oneself, and that's where a lot of our answers happen, is when we kind of sit in that stillness,
Yeah.
instead of kind of that robotic keep going nursing, kind of mandatory thing that we're taught in nursing school, is just to keep
Mhm.
going and not rest.
Right. Mhm.
So this membership is a really good way to kind of take that pause and rest and join us in that membership to learn all sorts of things. So I'm so excited to have members join, or new members join us after this podcast is aired. Hopefully we'll get a ton of people signing up for that, because it's such a good thing to have. And especially in nursing school, I think that's really important to be part of. Maybe it's like your local nursing chapter or some sort of membership to make sure you're getting that support, because nursing school is one of the hardest things that you can do in life. I think I Googled it and it was like, wow, that is really hard. I didn't realize that.
Yes. And I think the thing too, Emily, and first of all, I want to thank you for being, willing to trust Nurses Feed Their Young with hosting your personal community. I mean, I think that just gives me all the feels, because I mean, this is another group of people that it would have taken us a lot longer to reach. You know, this is your community. These are the people who trust you. So it just, that is so valuable to us. And we look forward to serving your people. It's just incredible. And, um, so I guess I would also add that if there's anybody out there who has a community that you're working with of nurses like Emily is, bring it on. Bring it on. Let's talk about it because we are stronger together. And, I look forward to seeing how big this movement gets because nurses are ready. We're ready for change. And so, Emily, I just, applaud you for coming in and letting us host your member community. That's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm super stoked about it. It's exciting. It's exciting. So, yeah, we are definitely stronger together. And especially if there's any nurse entrepreneurs listening or watching this, know that you're not alone because it can feel so isolating, especially if you're not going into a brick and mortar every day, if you're not going into a hospital or a school or wherever that you get that external validation from, right? That's kind of what keeps our motors going is that validation. And so the difference kind of with nurse entrepreneurs is that you have to kind of start getting that internal validation going, your own internal validation. And that's why again it's so important to be part of a community. So just one more kind of hooray for the Nifty community to just kind of put focus on the community part of being supported because it can be so isolating being a nurse entrepreneur. So I want to make sure that everybody knows that don't feel alone. Just hop into the community and we'll take care of you. So
Absolutely.
so that
Absolutely.
being said, so we have the Modern Nurse Fest coming up October 18th through the 20th, where Teresa will be a speaker on Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'm
So
looking forward to it.
exciting. So exciting. So that is a 3-day fest. So it is online, so people can attend all 3 days or pick and choose. And then we also have that Nifty membership that you can enjoy and join, which is linked below. So you can get into that. And then what is something else? I think there's something else that you have coming up, a course or a workshop. I can't remember. There's so much goodness. I just want to make sure we touch base on it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. I've been a nurse entrepreneur, gosh, for a while. Okay. My first experience, Emily, was owning a hospice agency, and we grew it intuitively to 3 million a year in revenue from a $6,000 investment.
Oh my gosh.
So I have some marketing skills,
Yeah.
but that was face-to-face marketing. That was boots on the ground, meeting people, connecting with people. And I got to be honest, it's taken me years to transition those boots on the ground marketing skills to marketing skills that work in the digital space. All right. So to where I can truly work from anywhere, I can reach my ideal client and attract my audience and have the same level of success. So this is really exciting. So what's coming up is the business care plan workshop for nurse entrepreneurs. And I really love this workshop. It's so fun because we let our hair down and we talk about, does your business need resuscitation?
That's
Because we've all been
perfect.
there. We put our social media out there and it lands with crickets, and we can't get any traction. And so nurses many times will feel like, I just need to go back to the bedside. I'm going to give up on my business. Somehow we expect that we should be able to very smoothly and just like that transition from bedside nursing to entrepreneurship. When in reality, and I know that, and I'm sure you know that, there's a lot of skills we have to develop and accumulate along the way so that we can make that transition. We didn't give our first injection without a lot of training. It's the same thing with business. So we're going to use a lot of fun mock nursing diagnosis like risk for blocking or risk for spamming and all these kind
That's
of things.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the kind of thing that we talk about, all the things we've been told. You need to make a list of your 100 friends and family.
Yeah.
Forget
Yeah.
it. It
Yeah.
doesn't work. Yeah. So we're going to dispel a lot of myths, a lot of garbage that a lot of people have been taught. But the fun thing is, it starts with a business health assessment, and we use the nursing process to help nurses write their own RX for business success. So this is what we're all about. Starts with a free, business health assessment that covers 8 different domains of nurse entrepreneurship. And a lot of people say, wow, some of these I didn't know anything about. I had no idea. So that's what it's all about. But yeah, that's coming up the first week of October. We're very excited about it.
Nice. Yes. Yes. So yeah, so make sure you get on there. I'm going to actually be in that workshop as well. So
Woohoo.
anybody else wants to join me, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited about it. It's so
Yeah.
needed. And it's interesting that you were saying that, write down 100 family and friends, because I remember starting out in the entrepreneurship space, and online and brick and mortar are very different. So, I want to tell nurses, if you're starting out a business and it's not brick and mortar, please
Mhm.
don't go to the government small business website and figure out their business plan, because it's going to have you go into the ground with debt. So
Yes.
just speaking from experience,
Yep.
nursing entrepreneurship online is a whole different space. Like you say, takes a whole different type of marketing. It's not,
Mhm.
you're not going door to door. You're presenting yourself differently.
Right.
From the social media to the email campaigns, right? The funnels, like we can talk forever in this space because we love it so much, and we are very knowledgeable about those kind of words. So if you are a nursing entrepreneur, or if you're a nurse that's like, man, I want to do this, but all these words are freaking me out. Just
Mhm.
remember when you first got into nursing school and you're like, "Oh my God, all these all these words are freaking me out," right?
I
Or
can't say these med names. Yeah.
yeah, that's exact. I'm like, I cannot say any of these farm names whatsoever, but I passed.
Yeah.
And that's the similar thing to nurse entrepreneurship is, once you get your feet wet, then you're going to get your knees wet, and then you're just going to be diving and swimming all around in the pool, because you're going to start learning and understanding how
Yeah.
to kind of swim amongst the nurse entrepreneurship river, I guess you could say, with all the other fishes that are nurse entrepreneurs. So
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
really important, to not quit. I've wanted to quit so many times, and like Teresa said, if you look at a lot of us that are nurse entrepreneurs, we might have had like five types of businesses or five different business names. I was looking on my
I
Canva the other
love that.
day,
Yep.
and I was like, I started with Mental Tonic. I started with Rebel Nursing. There was like a whole slew of different
Yeah.
names that came before the School of Modern Nursing,
Yeah.
so it's gonna take a bunch of times that you're gonna fall, you're gonna make mistakes, but then there's all these cool successful things that you do as well, right? And that's
Yep.
just like nursing. Like in a hospital, you might, fail a patient, you might possibly give the wrong medication. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it does happen, right?
Right.
Mistakes do happen. We're human.
Right.
So I think that's the biggest takeaway of being a nurse entrepreneur is you're going to make mistakes, but just like find joy in that you're trying and that you are making mistakes, because if you weren't making mistakes, you're not doing
Right.
it.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
So just do it.
Exactly. And I think too, it's okay to not leave your traditional paycheck behind. I never really encouraged nurses stepping into the entrepreneurial space to just totally quit your job and expect to be successful tomorrow.
Absolutely.
That's probably not going to work, but we are blessed in nursing to be able to go part-time. We can work PRN, we can do contract work. I mean, we have so many options to continue hanging on to a little bit of that safety net of traditional income, right? But also, even with a full-time schedule, if you have 15 to 30 minutes a day that you can dedicate to building a business, you can do this. I have built
Yeah.
my business in the nooks and crannies of time,
Hmm.
using my time very intentionally. Trust me, when you only have 15 to 30 minutes to give to your business a day because you're working and you want to not be like a stranger to your family, you get very focused on what do I need to do today to move the needle. And I can't tell you how powerful that is. I had great times when I was still full time and building my business, and that's even, I think, sometimes more exciting. But there have also been times when I needed to not fully quit my business, but lay it down a little bit and go back and do some clinical work
Yeah,
because no money, no mission, right? There's
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
So I've done that, and but there's so much to gain when you do go back. And it reinforces your commitment if you are that true nurse entrepreneur.
Yep.
Trust me, when you go back to that environment, you're going,
Yeah, you're like, ah.
okay. Yeah, when push comes to shove, this needs to work. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you make such a good point. And yeah, it's hard to go back to like 34, 43, 66 an hour or whatever it might be
Yeah.
when, you're getting paid in passive or affiliate income throughout the day, like while you're cooking your meal for lunch or while you're taking a shower. So yeah, it's a really interesting mind switch, and it's definitely a switch from hourly rate to whatever comes in. Like it's beyond, money is energy, so
Yes.
it's an exchange. So it's really interesting to go from that hourly wage to just all of a sudden like getting notifications like, oh, you made a sale. I'm like, sweet, I just got out of bed. This is
There's nothing
amazing.
like waking up to that, is there?
Yeah, it's like how do I not know about this? But that's the caveat of nursing. And a lot of wonderful things that are in nursing are beyond the box of nursing. So right, we take a
Yes.
test in nursing school to pass to get our license, and then that license becomes our freedom to learn whatever the heck we want and to become whatever type of nurse we want, right? Like it's
Yes.
not a ticket. Your license isn't a ticket into the hospital.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a ticket to do whatever you want with, as long as you're in your scope.
Exactly.
Um, yeah,
Exactly.
so I'm so excited about the business care plan. So cool, so fun, so inspirational. So I'm so excited to take that. And you can also find that below, and that will also be going out on the School of Modern Nursing email. So if you're on our email list, you'll be getting information about the business care plan as well. So, all
Wonderful.
right. Anything else that we should bring to the forefront here for nurses or nursing students? What do you think?
Um, I think for nursing students and new grad nurses within their first 2 years, I want them to hear that we see you. We know you're struggling. You got some challenges, and we have a space for you in the Nifty member community. And everybody, if they don't know it, they can get 30 days free. Everybody gets their first 30 days free, so you can jump in and just see what it's like, right? So there's absolutely no risk to come in. But what you're going to find is some support and resources that can help you continue the journey, right? I have a hard time. I really struggle with the idea that 33% of our new nurses are quitting the profession in their first 2 years. They're willing to say, I'm letting go of all of the time, energy, money that I invested to become a nurse, and I'm going to go do anything else,
Wow.
right? We
Yeah.
have to solve this problem and let them enter the profession and be supported for longevity, you
Yeah.
know? So there is a space for new nurses, nursing students, for all of you, and we just want to welcome you and support you.
Yay. Yes. Thanks,
Yay.
Teresa. Yeah. So don't forget to join the Nifty membership as soon as you get done listening to this podcast. Why not, right? Like it's just going to cost you about $2 a month, which is so doable. So trading it out from some self-care and also those continuing education credits, like why not, right? Because especially in this day and age, you can just go pay like $39 and get all your CEs for the whole 3 years. But are you really learning anything? Are you just checking a box? And that's kind of what nursing CEs have become. So
Yep.
really take reins and take control of your own knowledge and your own education, and really, invest in that. That's so important, right? Just as you invested in your nursing school, it's important to invest in really great continuing education, not just checking a box. I've done that. I've paid the $39, and right, we've like any
Yeah.
nurse, I've scammed the websites and I'm like, okay, well, who gives the cheapest CEs? Like,
Right.
how can I get this the quickest way without a test, right? But I think,
Right.
we need to kind of get away from that mentality, because it has been that mentality for so long. And there are so many great websites that you can pay and just get a certificate sent to you, but are you really doing your own due diligence, right? That's where
Yeah.
we have to ask ourselves.
Mm,
And so
agree.
why not, get on this membership and check out the various CE courses that you might be interested in, that actually will fill you, right? Instead of just checking a box. So thank you, Teresa, for creating this awesome platform for nurses, not just the Nurses Feed Your Young platform, but the Nifty membership and all of the wonderful workshops that you have coming up.
Love.
as well. So thank you so much for joining us here on today's Modern Nurse podcast. Is there anything else you want to send out to the universe today?
Ah, I say is I love nurses and I love nursing. And so I just want to encourage everybody, just keep going, guys. We got you. We got you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes, we totally got you. And make sure you come see us at Modern Nurse Fest, October 18th through the 20th. We look forward to seeing you there. Thanks again, Teresa. I loved having you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.